All right, Sistas fans. Now, I will say this much. This is a reasonable subject to talk about because there are fans who are worried that Fatima may be underestimating just how low Hayden is willing to go to get what he wants. So, this could be a pretty compelling subject. I hope that by the time the video is done, you will all comment some, thoughts and opinions that will lead to a healthy conversation about this kind of stuff, because I obviously believe, and I think that you all do the same, that this kind of stuff happens in real life. But before going forward in the video, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up to show you like it. Hit subscribe as we get closer to 190,000 subscribers. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So, most people will be quick to say, man, Fatima, this girl got it. She knows how to take care of herself. Don't worry about Hayden. But I feel like that's dangerously underestimating him. I mean, look at everything he's done so far. He's planted evidence to incriminate Zach to get him arrested. He had somebody put drugs in the chain breaker truck. He had filmed the encounter between Andy and Jasmine's crew, as well as when Fatima showed up with a gun. And I'm like, wow, why did he film that? I feel like he's going to use that as leverage at some point. And because remember, it was said that there are no cameras in the parking lot outside of the entrance. And I'm like, that's a very dangerous building security hazard right there. He seems to be not afraid of stalking his prey, so to speak. He's seemingly sexist based off that, conversation that he had with Robin, where Robin just went in on him, even though, I get it how it could be taken out of context, but I feel like because Robin and Andy had their moment the night before, that's probably why they both kind of went off. Well, Robin went off on Robin because, I don't know. But, on Hayden. I'm sorry, Robin went off on Hayden. And, he's been listening to Fatima's calls on the work phone. And to me, he went from petty to just straight up dangerous. Now, to be completely honest, we don't know that much about Hayden outside of the fact that one night or one day, whatever, him and Fatima went out on a date. They had sex. And for Fatima, it was pretty much a one and done, because she said during her first official group event with the sisters in season 2 that she doesn't really want a conventional relationship. Look, to be honest, I'm getting some Jada vibes here. She doesn't want to just find love. She feels like, hey, guys do the same thing where they just date around. Why can't women do the same thing? So to me, what was a one and done for her was this girl is mine to Hayden. She just playing a game, and if I can't have her, nobody can. And that's very dangerous for somebody who has resources, who is smart, and knows what he wants. He kind of reminds me of Mike from Bruh. If you've been watching Bruh season 2, or if you haven't but have been watching my content when I do my episode reviews, then it's been revealed that Mike has a drug problem. And if you watch season 1 of Bruh, he's been acting the same way as Hayden, from being possessive of Pam, trying to prevent anybody from dating her outside of himself. It's just, being, sexist at times, and learning that, what was it, the first part of season 2, we learned that he had her followed, and that seems to be, I think Hayden and him get along just fine, given that they're the only other 2 black people who work at the firm. So yeah, and I also believe they work in the same tax department too, so yeah, they probably know each other well. Ooh, let's hope that Hayden wasn't the one that put him on the drug problem. So the other thing to talk about here is the fact that we know Fatima has a gun. She's not afraid to use it. And with Hayden, he's just proven how deceptive and manipulative he can be. So, like I said, we don't know a lot about his past, but he strikes me as the kind of guy who was never the ladies' man. He would probably strike out because of the other guys around him, the Zacks, the ones who weren't book smart, the ones who always got into trouble at school. Basically, the thugs, the good-looking guys. I'm not saying that Hayden isn't unattractive. I'm not saying he is attractive because I'm a guy and I don't look at guys like that. But to me, honestly, he seems to be the kind of guy who was like Randall from Recess. He maybe wanted friends, but he was always like either the know-it-all, the snitch, or whatever you want to call it. And as a result, not much of a people person. So, when he got older and he got power, he wanted to use it to his advantage, possibly to get back at those or those like the ones from when he grew up. The ones like Zach. Just look at how he talked about how he knew about Zach's criminal record. He knew that planting drugs would be a way to secure the third strike to lock him up for good. And as a result, Fatima would be his. And it's possible that he's done this several times with other men we just don't know about. And to be honest, the reason I can speak on this is I understand what it feels like to be the person who's typically overlooked, and you think of ways to eliminate the competition by any means necessary. So when you get the ability to take advantage of those who took advantage of you, or at least in your mind when you were younger, it's like, okay, so yeah, there's no way I'm going to beat this person if we got into a fight. So I'm going to do the next best thing, which is outsmart them. I'm going to figure out to hit them below the belt, not physically, but where it really hurts. Zach's criminal record. You know what? I'm a successful lawyer. I'm making a lot of money. I should be the guy who these women fall for. But no, you have Fatima, just like these women or girls from when I was younger, they would always go for the hoodlums, the ones who they think are fixer-uppers. But you can take the thug out of jail, but you can't take the thug out of the thug. And I feel like that's what he's thinking about Zach. So I think that there might come a time where Hayden crosses the line and you were like, Jeremy, after everything he's done so far, you don't think he's going to do it again? I mean, you don't think he's going to go further than where he's already gone? I think that he's the kind of person that when he sets his sights on something, he's going after it no matter what. How many times we talk about Karen and how she wants to hear from Zach's mouth that, they're done and over. How many times does he have to say it? Just like how many times does Fatima have to tell Hayden to leave her the hell alone before he gets it? He's not. I mean, even if he gets fired by the likes of Robin at the law firm, then what? I mean, is he just going to stop going after Fatima? No, he's not. Because in his mind, he's done nothing wrong. He's going to get even with those who have wronged him. At least the ones he thinks have harmed him, when in reality, he's just been harming himself, in the professional world. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I mean, I did the video talking about Hayden and Karen. Hell, why not Hayden and Pam? They're both nosy as hell. Yeah, that'll be interesting. So, with that being said, do you think Fatima should step things up with Hayden? I mean, well, hasn't she gone to HR? I mean, maybe they might frown at the fact that two co-workers have been, having relations or had relations. But then again, you could argue that unless there's something in the rule book, Hayden is the one who's been completely out of pocket from going into Fatima's office unsupervised or uninvited to, listening in on phone calls, even though technically Fatima was the one who was making phone calls on the work phone, and just being an ass in general. So, yeah, I think even if he got fired, he wouldn't stop going after her. So, hopefully, Fatima doesn't have to shoot him, even though I know a lot of people just want him gone in general. And honestly, now I want to watch High School Musicals again just because we know he plays Zeke, the basketball player who loves to cook. And I mean, he does a fine job with Hayden. Don't get me wrong. I love the acting. It's just like Pam. I don't hate Pam. I think the acting is great. The character is just aggravating. So Do you think Zach will finally kick his ass? Because in the promo for this week's episode, he makes it clear to Hayden he's not backing down. And do you think Fatima will have to take things further? Because I understand that's why Zach was kind of cold to Fatima, what was it, late season 2 or early season 3, when he got kicked out of Chain Breakers. He knows Hayden was the one behind it. And, you know, he didn't want to mess around with Fatima because of the fact that Hayden would come at him even harder than before. So every time, you know, Fatima would say, no, I got this. Her heart's in the right place because this is her issue and Hayden's taking things out on Zach. But it's coming at Zach's expense because he's already skating on thin ice due to him having a criminal record. So we'll just have to wait to see who's the person that puts Hayden in his place. Will it be Robin? Will it be Fatima? Will it be Zach? Will it be somebody else entirely? Who knows? But with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. Hope everybody is doing well. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Have you dealt with real life Haydens in your life? And like I said before, I can relate to him because I get it. To always be the nice guy who finishes last, that nice guy turns into the kind of guy that you didn't like to begin with. The ones who you felt used their good looks, their muscles, their personality, their status in order to get what you wanted. So it's like, well, I'm in a position now where I can stomp on guys like that. But it shows a real sign of maturity when you do the bigger, not just be the bigger person, but do the right thing. Take no for an answer. I feel like that's the biggest lesson to take from characters like Hayden. When somebody says they aren't interested, yeah, it could suck, especially if you thought you had a great night together, but to them it just didn't mean anything. I mean, what else can Fatima do? So somebody just needs to kick this dude's ass. But just shout out to Chris Warren, I believe is the actor. You're doing a great job at being hated, but you're doing fine with the role. And I wouldn't mind seeing him in another Tyler Perry project where he isn't as annoying. So let's talk about it more. Feel free to like and subscribe. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.